With an average annual growth rate of 2 digits, healthcare tourism is the fastest growing sector of the tourism industry in Malaysia. According to the Malaysia Healthcare Travel Tourism, among millions of patients coming to Malaysia every year, tens of thousands are from Vietnam. Specifically, among more than 1.2 million visitors to Malaysia for medical examination and treatment in 2018, more than 14,000 tourists are Vietnamese. This has made Vietnam one of the 5 main markets for Malaysia's healthcare tourism industry, alongside with Indonesia, India, Myanmar, and China.
When we are rated by the International Living based on United States, they assessed us on 3 criteria. Number 1, the quality care, that has to be world class and has to be at the top level. Number 2, accessibility. You have to have almost real-time, immediate accessibility to healthcare. And number 3, it has to be affordable.
The Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council currently has 73 members selected from the best hospitals out of the 200 hospitals in Malaysia. By 2020, Malaysia's health sector aims to attract 1.5 million international visitors, contributing 8 to 10 billion ringgit as a total economic impact. It is not limited at the regional level. The vision of the Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council is to make this country one of the world's leading destinations for healthcare travel.
Hello everyone, and you're watching Sharing Vietnam on VTC 10 Net Việt. We have the chance to attend the launch of Malaysia Year of Healthcare Travel 2020. And on this occasion, we have a sit-down talk with the Chief Commercial Official of the Malaysia Healthcare Tourism Council, Ms. Nik Jasmine Nik Azman, to get to know more about what Malaysia has to offer when it comes to healthcare travel. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining Sharing Vietnam today.
Thank you very much.
First of all, can you share with us about your organization, the Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council?
Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council, or in short, we just say Malaysia Healthcare. We're an organization by the government of Malaysia, and what we do is we play 2 roles. Now, the first is, I suppose, the more obvious role is that we promote medical tourism into Malaysia. And so we work with partners and other countries to educate them about what options there are in Malaysia for healthcare. The second role that we play, which is a little bit more on the quiet side, but it's actually a bigger role, is to help the industry develop as a whole. So we work with the hospitals, the different government agencies, even stakeholders in and outside the country to ensure that all the industry is set to grow in a stable and conducive manner.
At this moment, when it comes to healthcare travel, Vietnamese people may be more familiar with countries, for example, the US, Japan, or Singapore. What about Malaysia? What are the advantages of the healthcare system of Malaysia has to offer?
Okay, so a lot of people don't know this, but Malaysia has been ranked as the best healthcare system in the world 4 years running by International Living, which is a US organization. In fact, a Europe organization also gave us the title of Medical Travel Destination of the Year for 3 years in a row. This is something that people perhaps don't realize. In fact, if we look at the report that has just come out, in terms of globally, Malaysia is the number 1 in terms of patient arrivals. So clearly there's something that we're doing right. So we don't discount the fact that there are other countries that have good technology. We have equal levels of technology, if not higher. But most importantly for us, the quality is affordable.
As I mentioned, we are attending the launch of Malaysia Year of Healthcare Travel 2020. So may you share with us about the exciting activities that Malaysia has to offer in the next year, 2020?
Yes, so we're actually very excited. We've been planning this for a long time. So next year is the Malaysia Year of Healthcare Travel, MyHT 2020, which is being organized alongside our Visit Malaysia Year 2020, Visit Truly Asia Malaysia. So next year we'll be having a lot of promotions from our hospitals, people who are coming in maybe to do screening or even to do aesthetics. I think that's quite popular in Vietnam as well, very beautiful ladies. We'll be announcing special packages at the start of the year to commemorate the opening of the gates. And in addition, we'll be having special promotions. You'll have free gifts coming in. You know, if you come in, we can help provide free SIM cards so that you'll stay connected to your family and friends in Vietnam. We will have special packages for tourism, because when people come for checkups or for health reasons, they don't come alone. Yeah, Malaysia is one of the top destinations for shopping. We've got outlets all over the country. We've got malls all over the country. There's always going to be something to do. So it's going to be a very exciting year. And we will be there to help any Vietnamese that want to come. And we'll make that journey as smooth for them as possible.
According to the statistics of the Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council, this country welcomed over 1.2 million visitors for medical treatment last year, twice as high as in 2011 and the highest level ever. At Sunway Medical Center alone, 52,000 patients from 132 countries and territories were received, of which 50% were from Indonesia. Malaysia is recognized for its advantages in the treatment of heart disease and assisted fertility treatments. In addition, cancer treatment, orthopedic surgery, or neurology are also widely known.
We hope Malaysia, which has already been recognized as a place that you can safely come and surrender yourself to get yourself being treated. Of course, after that, you can enjoy our Malaysian hospitality to recuperate and recover yourself with our various interesting places to be, whether you want to be by the beach or you want to be, surrounded by our forest, tropical forest. We've got everything for you.
One of the reasons why Malaysia is considered as a healthcare travel destination is that the infrastructure of the hospitals are modernly advanced in the same level as other countries in Asia such as India, Thailand, Singapore, the Philippines, and South Korea. These countries are rated as having the best hospitals in terms of infrastructure, as well as modern technology and good medical professionals. One of Malaysia's successes is that public and private healthcare institutions have attracted tourists from neighboring countries and other regions of the world, especially Middle East.
We're quite a large facility. We have 444 inpatient beds. We have quite a large emergency department, almost 60,000 patients through our emergency department per year. And for outpatients, we see about 500,000 outpatients here on this site a year. So we have clearly many inpatient facilities, wards. We have intensive care units ×4. Where we do both adults and pediatrics and tiny little babies too. So we've had babies there who are as old as 20 weeks that we've nurtured to full health.
We have been treating people from all walks of life, not only Malaysians, local Malaysians, but as well as foreign patients coming from our neighbours, Indonesia, Singapore, Vietnam, Myanmar, and etc. So these are countries that we have seen patients coming to IGN, and the Vietnam patients or Vietnamese have been coming to IGN for the last so many years, and we have seen an increase in the numbers of Vietnam patients coming to IGN.
Tôi thiết nghĩ rằng là nếu như mà các bác sĩ ở nhà mình thì cũng rất là giỏi, điều kiện nhà mình thì thực ra thì có phần hạn chế hơn. Thế nhưng nếu như các bác sĩ mà có điều kiện mà sang đây để một cái nơi mà nó tiên tiến hiện đại thì các bác sĩ học hỏi được nhiều hơn và sẽ mang cái kinh nghiệm ấy về để giúp đỡ người bệnh của Việt Nam được tốt hơn.
Have you done any market research on the market of Vietnam, and what do you think about the upcoming number of patients, for example, from Vietnam coming and experiencing the healthcare system in Malaysia?
So in Vietnam, I think it's a very interesting case. I think Vietnam as a country is something I admire very much. You know, it's a country that's seen immense growth in the last few years, and you have a growing segment of people that are looking for healthcare without the constraints of having to look in Vietnam. And I think that's where we've come into play, because I think you have excellent primary care facilities, but perhaps the options for more complex procedures are not there yet. It may come in Vietnam. And so one of the things that we work with for the long run is we collaborate with partners in Vietnam to be able to provide continuous medical education so that you can continue to upgrade and one day be able to also be specialists the way that we have specialists around the world. That's the main thing. And in fact, we actually signed a partnership agreement between 3 Vietnamese hospitals and 3 Malaysian hospitals. In the region, Vietnam, Malaysia, Myanmar, all these countries are seeing high rises in cases of cancer, for example. And everyone, when you hear the word cancer, everyone starts to panic a little bit because it's quite a serious thing. But what people don't really recognize is that if you catch cancer early, the recovery rate or the remission rate is as high as 80%, which means a lot of people who have cancer go on to live full and long lives. And this is something that we want to encourage. I think a lot of people, they're scared to know, but understanding that if they know early, we can catch it and beat it. And then you get to spend time with your family and friends and grow old and see your grandchildren grow up. That's the important thing of what we do.
What about the traveling part? When the patients and their family members coming to Malaysia for healthcare treatment, then what are the services that you offer to make their experience better?
We do everything from, if you are coming into Malaysia and perhaps you're a little bit mobility impaired, you can't walk very much, we actually have a meet and greet service that we and Malaysia Healthcare provide at our airports in KLIA, KLIA2 and Penang, where they'll be able to meet you at the gate itself as you come off the airplane. They'll help escort you and support you all the way through until you get to your destination. In addition, we actually have some hospitals. So for example, if you have a patient who's got kidney problems, and they still want to go on holiday, but they have to do dialysis. That's something that we have to balance, but we have specialist hospitals in destinations like Sabah and Sarawak, which is beautiful. They've got beaches, they've got mountains, and they've got facilities that can cater for your dialysis treatments as you go on holiday. So for us, just because you need medical support, it doesn't mean you cannot go out and enjoy yourself. We just, as long as you come and talk to us, we have a representative office in Ho Chi Minh. We can make the arrangements so that you can have your holiday and still be in the best of health.
So what are your comments on the potential cooperation between Vietnam and Malaysia when it comes to healthcare and also healthcare travel?
So we've actually seen immense growth coming from Vietnam. I think one of our earlier challenges was that people didn't know. And once we started doing work and getting the word out, we started seeing a lot of attention come into Malaysia. So one of the things that we see people coming in is mostly for health screening, especially if they're looking at, there's a special DNA test for cancer. So if you come in, we can do the DNA test to see whether you have a likelihood of developing cancer. And that's very popular. We're also seeing patients come in for fertility. So Malaysia is the fertility hub of Asia. We have some of the highest success rates in the world.
Once again, thank you so much for joining and sharing with us today. We do hope that the Malaysia Year of Healthcare Travel 2020 will be a great success.
Thank you very much.
That is the end of today's talk show. Thank you so much for watching us. If you have any questions or recommendation, including concerning the Malaysia Year of Healthcare Travel 2020, don't hesitate to write us an email or send us a note. We'll try to reach out to you and facilitate everything that you need. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.